That's why they called the great man of diaries Samuel Pepys. Yes, he kept a famous diary, and it's still remembered and used, of course, with great joy even to this day. There are many others, Parson Woodford, Benjamin Armstrong. I could reel them off, but what I've tried to do in recent years is to follow the splendid example and chronicle the Norfolk life. And in fact, I started keeping a comprehensive daily record at the dawn of 1984, and I'm glad to say it's still going strong. What began as a sort of casual exercise has become a proud obsession. The idea was to incorporate in all those daily chronicles some little light-hearted pieces, bits that caught my attention, people who've done some marvellous things in Norfolk, others who've done some very silly things in Norfolk. They all have their appeal, and I put them together in a book called A Rum Ole Norfolk Year. I should emphasise that rum has nothing to do with drink in this case, it just means strange and a bit difficult, although of course delving into your diaries can be quite intoxicating. I was amazed to think how much I'd half forgotten, and this was a labour of love to plough through all these volumes and come up with enough to fill a book. I think it varies in as much that you get the serious and you get the light-hearted. Let me just give you a couple of small examples. Now this one comes from 2008, and it proves that I love little things that make me smile. Uplifting little incident worth noting after perambulations on Cromer Pair. A local veteran sitting in one of the shelters calls me over for a word. I'll be 90 in 3 years' time, he announces. I tell him I love that kind of optimism. And this one, for instance, comes from 2012. A bit more poignancy in this one. A stormy Broadland backcloth as we say farewell to reed cutter Eric Edwards in a packed church at Ludham, not far from his beloved How Hill. And I can imagine the reeds waving an animated goodbye to this outstanding Norfolk character with a scythe. Over 300 folk pile in to pay respects. So there we are, it moves from the light-hearted to the serious, but there's always room, I think, in every daily record that you compile for something that's caught your fancy. I remember I was watching television one night. I had a night off from writing about my diary, you see, and I heard a wonderful line from, I think it was Alan Bennett, who said this woman who hadn't got much of a sense of humour, she could only see a joke by appointment. Well, I thought that was worthy writing down, and I put it in my daily chronicle. I suppose there's never been an instance when I've stopped thinking about doing another diary, and one of the first things on my wife's Yuletide list every year is a new diary, so that means I've really got to carry on what I'm doing.